It's great to be here. And today I want to convince you that agents need open networks to become smarter. So what we are doing could be relevant for the wider AI ecosystem and not just for Web3 AI niche. Where are we? So we are very early. We are probably in this part of a curve where like a bunch of experimenters, innovators try to build stuff that doesn't work or not always work. Yes, trading agents, coding agents, gaming agents are probably what we are seeing are performing best, but we are really at the beginning. Of course, we can't solve cancer. We can't even like plan a weekend with an agent. And for this reason, like any question around where and which are the agents at scale today is like asking in 1994, where is TikTok? It's going to arrive, we're just not there yet. And also for what works, well, it needs to be improved, right? A second important point is that agents are not secure enough. So we can't have economies if participants can be exploited. So we will never have economies if we don't improve security, and that's something where we are not there yet. And more important and related to AI in general, so benchmarks that we use to define what success look like also for agents are saturated and overfit. So saturated, also because like we continue to challenge and try and talk to agent as if they were our like children, and then becomes 19 years old, it goes to an undergraduate curriculum, and so it doesn't make sense to continue to challenge agents just on the kind of things we would challenge human with. And this problem, together with the scalability of benchmarks, you need to create new ones that need to be understandable by humans, with overfits of the fact that part of a benchmark goes within the supervised fine-tuning, and so of course the model performs well, is an issue. And that's why I'm pretty excited of what's happening this year, with more and more papers focused on new benchmarks that are games where agents play against other games. Sometimes even the game itself is created by the agent. And in this way, you have infinite scalable data set generated by agents playing with other agents, where you have an objective outcome of how the agent perform. So we are really at the beginning of a new wave, of a new approach to benchmark agents that creates new data set. So just to recap and discuss what we can do here. So we lack coordination data sets. So agents and AI are good in doing what they've been trained on. AIs are now trained, how can we say, with a good subset of a web, some books and stolen data from publishers. And this doesn't include coordination data set that explain how to negotiate well, how to interact in open economies. They are not secure, benchmarks are saturated. And exactly since they learn from data, we need interoperable, neutral infra. Why neutral? DeepMind agents will never play on OpenAI infra. So we need an open playground where agent can meet agents that are unpredictable just because they're managed by another company. They are unknown. They behave in some strange way. And thanks to this interaction, this data set of agent A interacting with an unknown agent B, we will be able to improve models through training, of course. Can be RL, it depends on what we are talking about. So agents will never become smart in interacting with other agents if they don't have playgrounds to do this. So in a sense, they can't stay in silos, and they need open networks to become smarter. And so I think that agent coordination and game theory, and also like the skills that many of us in this room, Web3, game dynamics, game design, will be one of the next hot things in AI. And this is relevant for the big AI labs that cares about the AI race, even more than just saying we want like permissionless, decentralized AI, which is to me super important when I'm like in my bedroom, but maybe it's not necessarily what the large part of AI space cares about. And we really have opportunity to like get out of the niche of the AI and use our skills to help AI in general. If we succeed, probably blockchains will be like invisible infrastructure used by agents. Users will not know which chain exactly you're using. We will have like open discovery, trust, and payments thanks to blockchains. Because of course agents want programmable money and programmable infra and programmable trust. They're not humans. They're very used to, and they can elaborate very fast, and of course they need programmable money. And the result could be like not having this strong division anymore between Web3 and AI, and having just blockchains as one of the technical components that enables in general the world to work. How does the journey look like between where we are now and there? Yes, what we're talking about is basically agents buying and selling services and products on behalf of us or by themselves or by organization. The first step is already here. It's agentic commerce through conversational interfaces. You're using ChatGPT and you can like buy some sneakers and you directly remain in the chat. And already here, having permissionless discovery is very important because there are probably like hundreds of companies selling these pinkish sneakers, and the interface that you will use will decide which one will be picked, right? So this has a strong impact on free markets and in general long-term on wealth distribution. And what happened in October with OpenAI partnering with Shopify and Stripe in this direction is a first step in this plan. What will come after is agents directly buying without being specifically triggered by a human. Here are like a bunch of use cases. So home restocking, of course the agent know what I'm eating and will make sure that I have in the fridge what I'm looking for. And end-to-end trip planning is another example. Everything related to health is very important. So this will probably come slightly after in 1 or 2 years. That's the funnel. So an agent needs to discover the existence of other agents. That's discovery. Then you need to decide which one to pick. Then you need to contact the agent and to get your to pursue your goal. And in some cases, you need to pay. And that was like the situation that we had a few months ago. So comms and pay are I think are pretty decently covered, even if like there are moving pieces and many things will evolve also with A2A and MCP in 2026. I'm pretty excited about this. But discovery and trust were definitely underserved, which is why we created the ERC-8004 in August. Standards are coordination set, which means that it's very important to align the community, to build them from the bottom, to discuss with the people. So the first draft has been written with like 20 people, but the new draft in October, it's built with more than 100, with hundreds of people that are contributing to the specs, and now a community of 1,200 like companies or builders that are excited about this. What does this do? We do two things, discovery and trust. We use blockchains as decentralized permissionless address books or catalogs. And so instead of having like a centralized GPT store, let's say, to mention something that exists already, you can directly pin on chain the pointer to what your agent does and can like sell or buy his endpoints, like the agent card that is hosted off chain, of course. And in this way, everybody can create explorers. And instead of having like the agents of a given platform or provider, you just have agents in general. They are portable. We use 721, the NFT standard. And in this way, just like publishing your agent on this protocol owned by like a smart contract, you pop up in all the in all the explorers. In terms of trust, we support trust on free trust models, depending on the kind of risk that you have at stake. The first one is reputation based on past client feedback. So agents are already, well, models are very good in like creating content. If you like work with social medias, you're probably like writing your post with agents. And soon we will just be able to hire for a given amount per month an agent that does our stuff. And if things go wrong, we will just have like one provider of that. While with 8004 and open protocols, we could like decide based on reputation. So like picking a restaurant, you have the reviews of the previous clients, what's the best one. So low stakes. Other example of low stakes are like gaming agents, planning agents, finally booking my weekend, or anything related to style agents. So of course, but that's already doable on the website. We will have a very cheap hardware device that is a camera in our bedroom, and before buying a a pair of trousers or any kind of dress, we will see already how this fits on our body. That's like 1-2 years close. It's very close. The second of the three model that ERC-8004 supports is when you have money at stake, and it's called stake secured inference. So you have a network of validators that redo the job that are staking, and if they misbehave, they can be challenged and you get slashed. This is like perfect for trading agents. As everything 8004 related, this is developed with communities that are actually building this, and so Agent Cloud is like one of the most relevant projects in this space. And why is this important? Stani and Aave became what they are because people were able to start using Aave because they trusted EVM and the code, even if Stani wasn't famous yet. That's DeFi, right? We can't do the same with AI because we can't execute on inference on chain, but we need a similar way to make sure that if people trust the code, they can trust the agent. And this is game-changing for innovation because, again, it enables trust based on the technology and not on like the JP Morgan or the brand that is behind the agent. The third and last is related to trusted execution environment, which is like a technical term to discuss what you have all in your pockets. So your iPhone have a chip that sign an attestation on the output. And in this case, basically, if you trust the code and you trust the chip vendor, I don't know, the NVIDIA or the Intel of this world, you can be fine in maybe trusting the output of agent. This is great for confidentiality, for sure, and when you want your code to be auditable. So when you want to be sure that the source code that runs on the agent is that one, that specific source code, or you want the code to be maybe blended by different companies and executed in a TE, but then the data doesn't become public, then this use case is great. These are like other case again of anytime you need auditability or multiple parties dealing with private data, TEs are great, and I think that's the direction where we could go. So personal twin, instead of having OpenAI that has all your data, you could have your private data encrypted in the cloud and used for inference to have a customized experience. Why doing all this? What's the output? So the goal, I think, is to make sure that we end up with a web of agents and not with an agent app store. Sometimes we tend to forget the mistakes that we did in the past. So we did, I think, pretty well with the web. Thanks to DNS, I can just reach out to any provider. I can use like a bunch of ways to decide. I can use a social network to find a website or a search engine. Search engines are changing. But the point is that I don't need to ask the authorization to anybody. While for apps, if I'm like creating an app which is not appreciated by the app store owner, I can like not be listed, or if I'm listed, maybe I need to pay the 30%, now it's the 10%, which is, 30% is a lot on margins. If you want to contribute, this is how you can. We are like a community that is growing, and as I totally agree on what has been said in the last panel, we have now more agents builders, agents platform builders than agents. We need more agents. So my like suggestion is really like to focus on agent and to create like new reputation and validators primitives. Thank you for your time. This is how you can reach out to me. Looking forward to build together.